Hi, I'm Ashley Paddock.
And I'm Krista Zanoli, and this is Light Matters for June 22nd, 2011. In this week's show, UV light lessens not allergens, students in Spain design a solar plane, a telecom-wavelength quantum dot laser is grown on silicon, and bike paths get laser guidance.
Food allergies have risen over the past 20 years, and scientists don't know why, but there's now good news for people allergic to peanuts. Pulsed UV light can reduce the allergenic potential of peanuts by up to 90%, a discovery that may help make food safer for the more than 3 million people in the U.S. alone who have nut allergies. The concentrated bursts of light, known as PUV, change peanut allergens so that human antibodies cannot recognize them and cause the release of the histamines responsible for the allergy symptoms. Peanuts cause the majority of deaths in the U.S. from severe allergic reactions. Currently, the only option for people with such allergies is to completely avoid peanuts. Using PUV, food scientists at the University of Florida reduced the allergenic potential of 3 of the most potent proteins in peanuts. Tests confirmed the allergy reduction, as did exposing the proteins to serum samples from patients with peanut allergies to see if a reaction occurred. Allergens were reduced in peanut extracts and peanut butter. Unpublished results also show that the technique works on whole peanuts. Future research involves developing a one-step roasting and allergen reduction process by PUV to produce hypoallergenic whole peanuts.
Students in Spain are building a solar plane. A prototype called the Solar Endeavour is being developed in the Aeronautical Engineering School at the Technical University of Catalonia. In February 2010, the students bought a scale commercial plane and started the modifications necessary to make it propelled solely by the sun's energy. The 2 main technical challenges facing them are the incorporation of solar cells on the wings and the design of the Energy Management System, or EMS. The optimal solar cells that need to be used are very fragile, and they have to be lightweight, flexible, and conform perfectly to the curvature of the wings. The technology required to incorporate solar cells on a plane's wings already exists and has been used in other projects around the world. It has not been made public, however, so the students must create their own version that achieves the same objective. The EMS, the heart of the plane, must also be based on technology they developed. Its function is to distribute energy stored in lithium batteries, and it comprises electronic components that must interact precisely to ensure that the plane's motor works properly in any atmospheric condition, even when the sun is not shining. Solar Endeavour is expected to make its first flight in August. The aircraft has already made its first experimental flights without a motor.
An electrically driven telecom-wavelength quantum dot laser was grown directly on a silicon substrate, bringing a new generation of high-speed silicon-based information technology one step closer. Silicon is the workhorse of the electronics industry, but it is reluctant to emit light. As the speed and complexity of silicon electronics increases, it is becoming harder to interconnect large information processing systems using copper. The ideal light source for silicon photonics would be a semiconductor laser. To date, the most promising approach has been using wafer bonding to join compound semiconductor laser materials to a silicon substrate, but a more desirable one would be to directly grow the material on silicon. But large crystal lattice differences between the materials result in low efficiency and short operation. A group in England overcame these difficulties by developing special layers that prevent these problems from reaching the laser layer, together with a quantum dot laser gain layer. They achieved an electrically pumped 1300 nanometer wavelength laser by direct epitaxial growth on silicon. An optical output power of more than 15 milliwatts per facet at room temperature has been reported. In related work, the investigators teamed with device fabrication colleagues to demonstrate the first quantum dot laser on a germanium substrate by direct epitaxial growth. The laser is capable of continuous operation at temperatures up to 70 degrees Celsius and has a continuous output power of more than 25 milliwatts per facet. Their work on germanium should also allow them to achieve the holy grail of silicon photonics, an efficient electrically pumped semiconductor laser integrated on a silicon substrate. Their future work will be aimed at combining these lasers with waveguides and drive electronics.
A laser image of a bicycle can now be projected onto the road ahead of bicyclists to alert oncoming traffic to their presence. The Blaze system was invented by Emily Brooke, a University of Brighton student. Blaze is a small battery-powered device that can be attached to the handlebars of bicycles, motorcycles, or scooters. It projects a bright green bicycle symbol, which travels ahead of the cyclist, alerting others to its presence. It has the option to be flashing, and the image is visible even in daylight. Brooks said she was inspired to create the device because 80% of bicycle accidents occur when a vehicle maneuvers into a bicyclist because they can't see them. She has been shortlisted for an Enterprise Award in the UK and will further develop Blaze at Babson College in Massachusetts.
Well, that's it for this edition of Light Matters. For more on any of these stories, visit photonics.com. To subscribe to our newscast, you can click on the share icon on this video player and choose feeds to enter your subscription directly into iTunes or any other RSS program.
There are also icons to share this video on most social media sites, and you'll find Light Matters in iTunes Store and on YouTube.
Please send your questions or comments to lightmatters@photonics.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can also find Photonics Media on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching, and remember, if it's light, it matters.
And you'll see it on Light Matters.